Alright, so yeah, heavyweight main event. Definitely always interesting. See the big guys go 5 rounds. So yeah, we got Alistair Overeem, Alexander Volkov. Alexander Volkov bringing in a 3-inch height advantage. Reach about the same. So, Alistair obviously has a larger ape index. But yeah, still Volkov with the reach advantage here. So for Volkov, he has a pretty energy efficient style. So I don't know if he's ever been. No, he's never. I'm not sure if he's ever been 5 rounds. Maybe in Bellator he did. Can't remember though. But yeah, his style's like, it's not bad for 5 rounds. He's pretty energy efficient, doesn't use too much, movement. So Alistair's style is definitely good for 5 rounds. He doesn't spend his whole gas tank in round one anymore. He definitely paces himself a lot better now. But he is getting up there in age, so 41 now. Also, yeah, nearly 41. Yeah, so yeah, we'll see. It's a bit of a crossroads fight for Overeem since he's on a win streak now. But if he were to take another loss, it would be a huge hit to his title run that he's pretty infatuated with at the moment. So I'd probably say he hangs him up if he loses to this fight, which is sad. But probably definitely should. Yeah. So pretty much we'll break down Overeem first in the striking. So pretty much these days he's definitely changed up his striking style a lot. Mostly just throws singular strikes now, so he can revert back to his defensive stance much easier. Keeps his guard up a lot more now. He'll switch stances, pretty competent in either stance. He'll usually look to mirror the opponent, or be the reverse of the opponent. So if his opponent's in orthodox, he'll be in southpaw, opens up his body kicks, and opens up those inside leg kicks as well, and definitely doesn't make it much of a jab contest, which he doesn't thrive in because he doesn't throw many jabs. So yeah, he will go into southpaw, throw a body kick with a straight left. That's mostly all he throws in southpaw, so you just got to watch out for that when he does switch stance. He'll got a teep to the body. He'll use that in orthodox mostly. Does it in southpaw occasionally, but mostly he's looking for that teep to the body in orthodox. And he will just cover up now when he's defending combos. Just keep a really high guard. What a lot of opponents don't do when he's covering up is work the body, which is interesting because it's so open. But I guess heavyweights, they just got that one punch knockout power. They just wanna put someone's lights out by hitting them on the head. So for Alexander Volkov, obviously very tall, very long guy. Obviously going to use that reach, and his game's mostly going to be revolving around jabs and teeps and keeping it long. He's also able to fight in either stance. He'll lower his base. He'll use less kicks when he's facing grapplers. So against Verdum, I think against someone else as well. Forgot. Who's he versed recently? Blades, I guess. Yeah, he tried to do it against Blades. He will lower his base. He'll use less kicks, but still, his takedown defense isn't great. But he obviously does change his style when he's facing these grappler types of fighters. So yeah, he'll use upper body movement to get out of the way of strikes. And he'll just look to pull back really quickly, so he can just stay in range. So once he pulls back, he'll probably let off with a combo or just a few strikes. Kind of like what Max Holloway does. So just out of range. Doesn't really keep his guard up that often. But yeah, relies mostly on upper body movement. So he'll also use the teep. He's an orthodox, so mostly he just uses that against southpaws. It's not really there when he's versing orthodox fighters. So he's got a nice counter too as well. I believe that's what he caught Walt Harris with in the first. caught someone with it recently. And he's got a nice uppercut when his opponent dips, which Alexander, what's his name? Alistair does quite frequently. So the grappling in this one, mostly Volkov doesn't go to that at all. He tries to keep the fight standing. But for Alistair, he'll try, more recently he's used his grappling a lot more. He tries to get a lot of takedowns in the clinch. Most of his takedowns that are successful are in the clinch. And also when he's in the clinch, he'll throw a knee to the body, and then he'll throw a knee to the body, and then, try and disguise his trip, like his trip, like he's trying to disguise that entry for his leg to go through the inside and like trip just the leg of the opponent. Just said that horribly, but yeah, you know what I mean. Just a trip takedown in the clinch. So when he's on top, he'll look to stack, land a few bombs, mostly just looking for control these days. Doesn't look to advance position too much and, go for crazy subs or anything, but he'll mostly, just look for control. How these guys win, we'll stay with Alistair. He's brought in some good game plans late in his career. I think he's working with Elevation Fight Team still. Hope he's still working with them because, lately he's been coming in with pretty good game plans. That's, I'd say, largely the reason he's been having so much success recently. He's got good strike and defense. You can tell he's been focusing on it recently. Obviously, his chin is, degraded a little bit. So he's been working on his strike and defense. Obviously, it's improved over the past few years, and he definitely focuses on it a lot. And you can just tell when you see him fight. So he's very accurate on the feet. I think he has one of the highest accuracies for strikes in the UFC. I think it's like 73%. No, that's not right. It's probably like 63%. No, maybe something like that. It's like high 50s, low 60s, I think. He's very accurate. Doesn't throw too much, of course, but like when he does, he usually hits the target. And that's just because, he does throw a lot of kicks as well. So low volume, a lot of kicks, that's pretty much going to lead to high accuracy. Especially in the heavyweight division where they don't move too much in front of you. And when he does get in the clinch, he's got nice takedowns. Like he's obviously been working on that as well. And yes, like throughout his whole career, he's always had nice clinched knees. That was in the Brock Lesnar fight, if you want to see a good example of that. So for, what's his name? Volkov. He's got a nice jab. He's got pretty good distance management. Good at keeping the fight at his range for the most part. And he's got a good chin. He got caught by Derek Lewis. People can get caught by Derek Lewis and put out. But overall, I believe he has a pretty good chin, pretty solid. He's got good lead leg offense in the orthodox position. Obviously, a lot of fighters in the heavyweight division don't really use their lead leg too often for offense. So it's it just makes them, it just confuses them a little bit. Obviously, they're not seeing many looks like that in training, so it does freeze his opponents up for a little bit when he does throw from that lead leg. How these guys lose, so we'll stay with Drago, Alexander Volkov. So he's got poor takedown defense. He's got really bad balance when he's defending double legs, or even in the clinch. So got to watch out for that in this fight. He's has not the greatest luck when he's versing wrestlers. Obviously in the Curtis Blades fight I think that was 2 fights ago, he didn't have much success at all. But, that's Curtis Blades. He's going to do that to a lot of the guys in the division. But still, just like throughout his whole career, he's never really had great success against wrestlers. He hasn't got good get-ups. He probably has no get-ups, if you ask me. He closes his guard, just kind of holds on, wait for the ref to stand him up or the opponent to just back off, so he can push up, and still he doesn't get off his back very quickly. He's a big, tall guy, it's tough for him to get off his back, but his get-up's not the greatest. Also his fence clinch escapes aren't great. Yeah, said that wrong. So for Alistair Overeem, so his chin obviously is a dust. But, you know, he's got better defensively. So, you know, it's kind of compensating. It's kind of assisting it a little bit, but obviously, yeah, it's still shot. So he's got a low volume as well. He's got low volume, as we said before. Backs onto the fence and covers up without throwing any off its back. So if you do that against a guy like Volkov, he's just gonna fuck you up. Like, you can't just throw no offense back in the heavyweight division. Like, these guys are just gonna tee off on you. You'll get caught eventually. And also, when he does shoot for takedowns, he can shoot from too far away when he's not setting them up, or, you know, because he's so low volume. Like, he's usually one strike and done. So if he throws one strike, his opponents are just kind of reset already, so they're ready for the next strike. So I feel like a lot of combos would help him set up his takedowns and just improve his game, but obviously he doesn't do that at the moment. So yeah, he just has much more success in the clinch for his takedowns. So path to victory for these guys. For Alistair, like, obviously, we're going to want to mix in the wrestling here. Yeah, just try and get in the clinch, get some trips, take him down, just top control. I'd like to see more feints, because Volkov, you know, he does bite on feints and it lets you set your other offense up. And also, it will stop the forward pressure, which is most likely going to come from Volkov, you know, a little bit. It'll just, you know, reduce it a little bit. Or else he's just going to walk you down, tee you off on the fence. So Volkov does have a habit of leaning back when he does, like, when he gets rushed on. So yeah, if he does lean back to, like, evade, because, you know, how I said before, how he uses upper body movement. So if he's leaning back when you're blitzing in, don't be afraid to go for the like, you know, the legs, and just mix it up a little bit there. For Volkov, he just needs to keep it a distance. Teep to the body when Alistair's using that high guard. Obviously, just, you know, beat him up on the fence if he's backed up against there. Just work the body. So when he's covering up in range, or even on the fence, actually, you can go for that bolo uppercut, like same as Gustafsson was against, like, Glover Teixeira when he was covering up, because Alistair, when he covers up, he doesn't generally throw too many counters back, so you don't have to be worried about getting clipped from an overhand right or anything like that. Obviously, you still need to, you know, be smart about it, but, like, yeah, you don't have to worry too much about it. So it's definitely something I reckon he could put into this game. And yeah, just try and keep the center of the octagon. Don't try and, you know, just don't clinch. Just keep the center of the octagon, keep him on the outside 2 octagon rings, and yeah, this is your fight to lose. I see this one going, you know, a kind of a chess match, pretty slow paced. Both of them just trying to make reads early on. So Overeem probably will want to go with his grappling in this one. Like, he'll be at range with Volkov for a little bit and probably decide it is best at this stage in his career to go with the grappling here. So Overeem's pretty low volume. Same with Volkov, kinda. But I think Volkov will just be landing more strikes. Volkov will be the one on the front foot. He'll just be probably landing the better strikes in the judge's eyes, and yeah, he's obviously has that octagon aggression as well. So I see if it goes to decision, which it could. Like, these guys aren't, like, obviously the heavyweights, but, like, these guys aren't the most kill or be killed type guys. Like, they will let the fight come to them for the most part. But yeah, I think Volkov gets it done. Probably knocks Overeem out, let's be real. So yeah, if Overeem's on the fence, I see Volkov hitting him with like a 3-4 or 4-3, and just finishing Alexander off, maybe even KOing him, you know, TKOing him if Alistair, like, covers up and just decides to get TKO'd, which would be probably smart at this stage of his career. And my bold prediction is that Overeem retires after he gets KO'd. Not a bold prediction, I guess, but just what I think is going to happen. So the prediction is Volkov by TKO. And the money line right now, $1.60. Yeah, what's that, like 63% chance of happening. In my opinion, probably lines fight around 60-40. Because Alistair obviously has that grappling, and Volkov's grappling is fucking terrible. And, you know, Alistair on the feet, he's low volume, but he's still very efficient. And he can still, like, you know, keep up with the pace that Volkov's going to push. So I'm not too confident in Alexander Volkov, but I did get a good line for sportsbet.com.au in Australia. That was $1.72. I bought it just because I knew the line was going to go down anyway. Because I think they're a bit delayed in the line movements. So now it's $1.75 at my local sportsbook. But yeah, I would feel confident betting Volkov at this price, like $1.75, $1.57. So that's like 63, 64, 65% chance of Volkov winning, which I don't think it's that reasonable. I don't think it's that wide, in my opinion. So if you can get over like $1.65, which is about 60% chance of Volkov winning, then I'd agree with that. But at the line movement, like given the line movement and at the prices right now, I wouldn't advise a bet. I wouldn't advise a bet on Overeem either, even though it can seem quite enticing if he gets to like 260. But yeah, he's just too tough. He's too hard to tough. It's too hard to trust with his chin, and yeah, Volkov's definitely going to test it here. And he's probably the toughest fight he's had in his recent run.